Hello, and welcome back to a rather quick turnaround episode of Wrestling is Her.
A little bit.
This week, I'm your host, Raja, and I'm joined by my illustrious co-host, John.
Hello.
I'm going to have a list of, adjectives to refer to you by.
I'll take illustrious. Illustrious is way better than some things I've been called.
Oh,
Especially
yes.
after that last episode.
Yeah, well, fair. And speaking of illustrious, we sit here mere minutes, less than an hour after an incredibly immaculate episode of AEW Dynamite.
It was the immaculate edition of Dynamite.
Oh, the vibes were so good. We're still vibing off of it.
I am vibing. I really am.
I am so excited about everything that happened.
I'm like in helico.
But given the show that this is, I think we should talk about certain Britt Baker back in action.
Yes.
Getting in the ring with her longtime rival, Hikaru Shida.
Yes.
On Dynamite. It's like, what year is this?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was crazy because not only did she get in the ring with her longtime rival, Hikaru Shida.
Right.
But we got to see highlights of what happened before, years ago.
Yes, of their long-standing rivalry.
I listen, I feel like I was raising a child.
Yeah.
And the first few times that my kid got on stage and did their spelling bee, they did pretty well.
Right.
They missed Mississippi. That
dang S.
Right. Things that seem like just remember the song.
Right.
It's a song that was created years ago. It's a little rhyme. It's just M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I.
Yes.
And when I feel like my child won that spelling bee tonight because the thing was, we've seen our history. And then we also got to talk about the fact that, what that history means. And even Britt Baker's finisher.
Yeah.
Why does she get the glove? Hey, if you joined us since Britt went out.
Yes, if you haven't seen Dr. Britt Baker.
I thought they did a fabulous job with that.
They did. They caught everyone up to speed to make sure they knew the gravity of this return and why it's so important.
Oh, hold on a second. I'm sorry. I'm having really bad flashbacks to Gravity, the wrestler.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
I'm good.
We won't mention that word again.
Yeah, I'm good.
But the weight of this return and the fact that this match in particular is such a big deal and so important. And speaking of growth and watching people grow up and feeling like they're your children, they did so good in this match. They got the crowd completely dialed in. There was a "This is awesome" chant at one point.
Yes.
It was fantastic. The way that Shida kept avoiding the lockjaw because she knows how bad it is.
Right. Yeah. And I think that history's there. I think that you got to see a lot of the wounds that were there. And Shida herself is going through some kind of crisis.
Yeah.
There's some kind of crisis where
she just can't get her footing right now.
Yeah. Shida keeps seeing that kendo stick.
She wanted to use it.
She did.
Badly, but she didn't.
She did. And let's face it, Shida seems like maybe some injuries may have mounted up and stacked up on her. It's the easy way out.
It is, and there's no saying that she won't take that easy way out sooner rather than later, especially with this loss.
Yeah.
Piling on to all that.
It's very interesting.
And then following the match, of course, Britt Baker won with the lockjaw.
Right.
That beautiful move that Mercedes tried to emulate, but she doesn't know where that mandibular nerve is.
No.
Only a dentist could find that.
Yeah, mandibular. I can't even say it.
But after the match, Mercedes came out to steal her thunder, as Britt has been doing to her over the past couple of weeks. And while Britt was distracted by the CEO on the stage, who blatantly said her answer to a match at All In is a no.
Right.
Which you expect.
Because she's dressed like a cowgirl.
She can totally say that.
It's in the rules.
She's the champion. It's within her rights. But as she distracted Britt Baker, we were greeted with Mercedes' new muscle.
Yes.
Bodyguard. Whatever you want to call it.
Spectacle.
Heater, whatever.
Yes.
Camille.
Yes.
Attacking Britt Baker in the most vicious manner possible.
Oh, it was it couldn't have been better because, this week the videos were out there. Mm-hmm. Where's Camille at?
Yeah.
She signed with AEW. That's her first record.
It couldn't be more perfect timing.
It really was,
honestly.
man. It was perfect. It was good.
And I love this position for Camille because it just makes sense.
It does.
Being that person.
what a good entrance, because obviously there's a style. There's a style here.
Yes.
And,
she fits a mold.
Yeah. And you have to, I think the perfect thing is always, like you said, I think the perfect thing is a heater, because it gets a chance to be out there, get the timing. It's,
right.
You know, it's good.
It is. It's perfect. And it opens the door for, I'm going to say it, for Britt Baker to bring in her big, strong friend, Jamie Hayter, who's going to return. Yeah. You heard it here first.
Right. Yeah, every week.
Jamie Hayter's coming back for All In.
She is.
It's happening.
She is, and she better be big.
Whether we do like let's have a tag team match and you better find a partner kind of deal like before then. And if you win the tag team match, I'll give you a championship match. I don't know what they're going to do, but
I would take the tag team match at All In.
That would be cool too.
Honestly.
Like not even the championship match, just go full.
There's enough big stakes matches.
There are so many.
That would be kind of cool, honestly. And even what if you had the tag match, and then if she wins instantly, you get a title match.
Yeah, exactly. If Britt wins, or if Britt's team wins.
Yeah, at the show, the same show.
Right. Oh, like instant title match at the same show.
That's the only way she agrees to it.
That would be amazing.
Yeah,
like just more match.
Because she's laughing about it. It's like, oh hey, there's no way.
Yeah, my girl Camille here.
There's no way you're gonna do it. You can get whatever partner you want to get, honey.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. Okay, well that's fine, and I'll agree to that. That can be at All In. Fine, that's wonderful. That's a match.
I'll show up with somebody.
Tell you what, when I do beat you, I get a title match right then.
Right then, as soon as the match is over.
when you beat me and Camille.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we agree to that, and then you find out. Well, here's my partner.
Right. Do you save the partner reveal for All In?
No. No, you got to sell tickets.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, you got.
Jamie is a big commodity.
She. Well, I think anything is good, and that's great, and
it is.
So I like it. But let's talk about
the other All In implications.
The other implications.
Tonight we saw the debut of the Glamour, Mariah May, and when I tell you that she brutalized this poor girl. She just beat the tar out of her.
The girl that was said that she was from Nashville, but she is from Bristol originally.
Right.
Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia.
Yes, but Mariah doesn't care where you're from because she's out here to prove a point. And that point is that she is vicious and she's coming for Toni Storm's AEW Women's World Championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
And after the match, when she was gloating and she played Toni Storm's music and was like, ha, you stupid idiots thought it was actually Toni Storm, but she's not here, blah, blah, blah. A cameraman person seemed to have rolled into the ring, but it was actually Toni Storm in a wig, which was just hilarious.
Which gave me one of my favorite Tony Schiavone-isms of all time. Did you pick up on it?
I'm sure I heard it, but I don't know what you're talking about off the top of my head.
He said Quentin Tarantino wrong. Because it was obviously written.
Right.
And he goes, it's like something out of a quantum. I think he said quantum.
Quantum Tarantino.
A Quantum Tarantino film. And it gets eerily silent because Excalibur.
You know they're laughing.
Because Excalibur is suffocating in his mask.
Yes.
At this point. You remember the Joe Rogan cartoons? Where they would take the Joe Rogan show and they would make the funny cartoons and it would show him laughing and he would like float around that's what I see. When Tony Schiavone messes up and I don't hear anything, I see Excalibur laughing and tears just pouring out of Taz's eyes.
Taz sinking under the desk.
Yeah, just amazing. Because I swear to God, it was something like Quantum Tarantino film, and it just gets really quiet.
He tries his very best, but we love him for it.
I don't know. I'm sure it was probably from a film.
Yeah,
I really do, and I apologize that I don't know. But
well, that's funny because this led me to one of my favorite Toni Storm isms of all time, where she gets the mic after a brawl, like they're just going at it.
Oh my God.
But after the pull apart, she gets that mic in the corner and says, "Are you prepared to die? Because I am."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It was fantastic.
She's so dramatic.
It was really great, though, because we got a little mix of what we were talking about. It wasn't Timeless that came back.
No, this was laser focused Toni Storm.
Right. Yeah, she still had the look. She still had the character we love was there.
Right, but she had the slick back hair. Yeah, those wings, the eyeliner.
She was doing the viciousness.
The scar on her head.
Yeah, the scar is never going to go away.
No, this is part of her now. Part of her story.
And I think it's beautiful.
It is. But after Mariah May won this match using the hip attack and the Storm Zero, that probably just sealed the deal for Toni Storm.
This is going to be great. And the thing I love about Mariah, so many things to love about Mariah, but when this first happened, when the turn first happened, there's not been enough talked about this. In the backstage segment, when it goes to where normally somebody will say something backstage.
Right, explain themselves.
Not only did Mariah not say anything, not give that moment away, but it was the way that she looked with her mouth open in the anticipation of saying something. The anticipation of saying, well, her mouth was open. Like there was so much that she wanted to say, but she didn't say it. And there was this something in her eyes. There was this telling in her eyes. There was this, je ne sais quoi. There was this, oh my God, this vision in her eyes that was
like
just.
She knew what was going on.
Disdain. There was euphoria, like she was complete, and there was something orgasmic with. I have to say it. I mean, it was cool because it was that viciousness,
it was very much like emotional in all the most raw ways.
Yeah, and she embraced that. It was very visceral. It was amazing, and so that carries on because during this match, even when she comes out, man, when she comes out during the viciousness of this match, she has this look to her. There's a look that is not anything I've ever seen out of her before.
Right, yeah. It's totally different from like Stardom, princessy type Mariah May.
Exactly. Even when we've seen her be vicious before, it wasn't vicious like this. It was vicious like, okay, I'm just being tough. This is something different. This is something...
It's more intentional.
Yeah, this is something... My whole career is for this.
Right. It's like that almost vacancy of insanity. Like just knowing you have a goal and relentlessly pursuing it.
No matter what it takes.
By any means necessary.
I have to do this. I have to separate myself from the moment.
Right.
I love it.
It's beautiful. And that match at All In is going to blow Wembley down, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be so good.
Yeah. It better just remain a brawl. We don't need fancy.
No. It needs to just be all out, like brawl. From corner to corner, bell to bell. Just trying to kill each other.
We don't need a gimmick match. We don't need fancy.
No.
Because the gimmick match can come later.
Yeah.
All this needs to be, though, is just violence. And, again, on Dynamite, even aside from the women, the damn show.
Oh, the whole show was so good.
Was freaking amazing. From the opening promos with MJF and with the American flag with the little MJFs to the Suzuki and Chris Jericho just bloodbath of Chris's chest.
Just chop fest, nonstop chop fest for however long they went.
To Jeff Jarrett's promo with Bryan Danielson.
Oh man,
just doing what everybody wanted to hear. Absolutely bringing that around to the Camille. As we've talked about, the Camille thing. I mean, just
Pac out there doing his thing.
Yeah, just a dominating win. It's so much good, and you just love to see it. I don't care what I'm watching. I don't care if it's WWE. I don't care if it's AEW, TNA, whatever. To see something done pretty flawless.
Yeah, even the grand finale of Blood and Guts was perfectly executed.
Best one they've had
from start to finish, and had some incredibly memorable moments here and within it, and that whole that stare off with Hangman and Swerve.
Yeah, and oh man, gave him exactly what they needed for that, because you could hear the fans in Nashville were just, it was great, man. It was great.
It was a rip-roaring good time.
I love the fact that the women's stories progressed to the degree they did. So
yeah, they really stood out among an amazing show.
But speaking of amazing shows,
oh my goodness. Okay, so the main reason that we had to do this show so quickly and why we're here right now is because of Stardom. This weekend is the doubleheader pay-per-views in Sapporo.
Yes.
The Wonder and World Rendezvous.
Hi.
And before that, they had a show in Korakuen Hall on the 23rd. And now that we've been able to watch that show, we need to talk about it before these pay-per-views because, hello, what's going on? I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Well, you did know.
I did know. I hoped. I had an inkling of what I wanted to happen.
Let's talk about it.
All right. Well, before we jump into this card, I want to say a few days beforehand, we did have a few Stardom girls show up in Sendai Girls on the 20th. Like, we had a time limit draw between Mina Shirakawa and Mika Iwata. And we all know how that goes historically with Mika Iwata. She's going to be, like, obsessed with Mina now, I think.
Yeah. Good match, though.
And then Team 200 kg, you and Chihiro Hashimoto versus Miyu Amasaki and Starlight Kid.
Great match.
Amazing match.
I loved it. It
was so much fun.
The story of this match was so great because, Starlight comes off as a big star, man, especially, coming into Sendai Girls. There's no way around it. But when you're out there with Team 200 kg,
it's just like, oh, okay.
It's just monstrous from the first notes of Bon Jovi to coming in the ring and seeing the size difference.
They're a spectacle, and I love them.
They are a spectacle, but the thing about the story about this match is at first there was just no getting by the power and the strength of Team 200 kg.
No, they're too big, too strong.
And I was okay with that even because it was just obvious, right?
Yeah, it was a hilarious size difference.
But Starlight and me, they kept working. They just kept working. They kept using their speed and avoidance and being.
It was a real testament to their work ethic and their passion for what they're doing.
Yeah, and as it went on, they found ways to use the double team.
Yeah.
To be able to get some advantages.
To gain some footing in the match.
There was even times when we got some close 2 counts and stuff, and it looked like we might be able to do something. But in the end,
unfortunately, there is no escaping Chihiro Hashimoto and that massive lariat. So
yeah, honestly though, it was the right win. And it was clean, and I dig that.
Yeah, and it was competitive as hell. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
So that brings us to July 23rd in Korakuen Hall, which started off with a return match. Suzu Suzuki made her return to Stardom after 2 months on the shelf with injuries, teaming with Starlight Kid and Azumi to take on Hanako, Xena, and Mina Shirakawa.
What a weird opener. It's so...
It was weird to put it in the first position.
Yeah, it's a banger of an opener just from the stars that are in it.
Yes, like big names. We got like champions in this match.
But I think it started the crowd off correctly.
Absolutely. Everyone was excited to see Suzu back. She had new gear.
She looked great.
She was looking amazing, like healthy, ready to go, and they went.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, because they won this match. Our new little faction that we have going on here with Suzu Suzuki's iconic German suplex hold, which is just brutal to watch.
It is. And they didn't leave us waiting for...
No, they didn't, because after the match, Starlight Kid informed everyone in Korakuen Hall that they were going to give details about the new faction and the name and everything in Sapporo.
Yeah.
That was met with quite a bit of booze.
But, it's funny because she's kind of like, come on, it's pay-per-view.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's pay-per-view. Which is, honestly, I mean, it makes sense. And it's the first time that we're going to see all 5 of the girls together in a match. Yeah. So it's the perfect time.
Yeah, absolutely.
To debut the name, I think.
Absolutely.
But Suzu just she came in here and proved that she's back and she fits in perfectly with her new friends and everyone's happy.
Do you have any ideas?
On names?
The name.
I honestly have no idea.
So you don't have any thoughts what you would like it to be?
No, I like your name for it. That's what I've been calling it in my head.
So...
The Eternal 5.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Eternal is really cool to be in there because of the Eternal Foes. They could use Crazy in there. They could theoretically use Star in there somewhere, but we've got Stars already, so that's kind of...
So we could have Go Eternal? Would that be Eternal Go? Or
Go Eternal would be a really cool name.
Yeah.
It would be 5 Eternal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know, it'd be cool.
It would be. I think they've probably come up with something that I've never even considered and will fit them perfectly.
It'll be like Dog Chicken, Star Moon.
It'll be amazing.
It will be amazing.
And
we'll get used to it.
They'll have a logo and colors and
crazy
it'll be amazing.
moon tiger.
Crazy moon tiger.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh no.
It's a tiger in space. Oh my god. So, following that match, we had 4 matches in the 5-Star Grand Prix decision tournament.
Yes.
Starting off with Miyu Amasaki versus Aya Sakura for a spot in Blue Stars. And this was a fun match. It wasn't very long.
No, it wasn't.
And it was pretty evenly contested, but Miyu Amasaki ended up with the win using the Tensai over Aya Sakura. So she advances to the final on the Blue Star side.
Yeah, I wanted Aya to make it, but
it would have been cool.
It is what it is.
It is indeed. Miyu has been improving hand over fist this year, so she totally deserves that spot if that's the way it goes.
She has been great. Listen, I'm not faulting her.
Yeah, no.
I would just like to see Aya, be there, and there's next year.
Yeah, there's always next year. But Miyu will be facing the winner of our next match, which was Lady C with the win over Momo Kogo.
Shoo.
In a match that didn't end very great because there was a moment in the match where Momo Kogo had an armbar on Lady C, and it seemed like it went a little too far.
Yeah, I had some old, lucha libre
little flashbacks.
And but you know what? Listen, maybe Lady C is the best seller.
Maybe, but she was nursing that arm.
It's ever been, but holy crap.
The rest of
her
the
hand
match.
was shaking, and, we were just scared for it. But hey, you know what? Lady C advanced. We're excited about that.
Yes, she's been absolutely on fire lately.
Super improved.
And then on the Red Star side, we had Sayaka Kurara versus Waka Tsukiyama, and Waka was able to get the win with a roll-up. Another very evenly contested match, but Waka was able to just edge out the victory.
Okay, so this one.
I know.
This one. Man, dude. Kurara has done so much.
I know. It makes me so upset.
she would be great. She's even had flashes in places where she's paid her dues, man.
Yeah.
She's been hit by dumps. She's had she's had her.
She's been whipped by Tekla. It's been a lot this year.
It's been a lot.
And to be fair, it's kind of been heading in this direction with Waka getting pins over the past couple months here and there. But I kind of feel bad for her because after the pin, the crowd didn't seem very happy with the win. Yeah, they all kind of went quiet.
They're normally pretty polite regardless, and this was kind of
It was not. They were not happy.
Well, I think they felt the same momentum we have. And
I'm sure.
It's one of those tried and true things, though, of the young girls, young boys.
Yeah.
It's just, but it's frustrating sometimes.
And Waka on the Red Star side will face Yuna Mizumori, who won her match against Ruaka due to DQ because Ruaka flagrantly threw away her chance to be in the 5-star by smacking her in the head with her suitcase right in front of the ref.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this.
It was a silly decision.
It's not a big fan of it. It's just, why do you not want to be part of why are you even in wrestling?
Yeah.
This is part of the most elite tournament in pro wrestling.
You could chalk it up to young foolishness, but she's been in it long enough to know better.
Yeah, she was just well, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
Yeah, which is her attitude most of the time.
It is.
But this is such a high stakes situation.
I know it's her character, but I would rather see her want to win.
Yeah. It kind of feeds into this whole style that Oedo Tai's been taking on the last few months.
Yeah.
Very House of Torture / War Dogs inspired sort of
anti-establishment. Yeah.
But Yuna Mizumori, she got to advance. And
I'm
we'll
very
face
excited for Yuna.
Waka Tsukiyama.
We'll at least have some bangers out of it.
Absolutely. Next, we saw the team of Hina, Rana Yagami, Tomoka Inaba, and Saki Kashima versus Rion, Koguma, Hazuki, and Mayu Iwatani.
Yes.
By far the highlight of this match was the minute we got between Mayu Iwatani and Tomoka Inaba, which is a match we will see in the 5-star at some point.
Such a preview.
So super pumped about that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But there was also a fun moment in this match where Rana Yagami finally became a bear.
Yes.
Thanks to Saki Kashima.
Yes, and I've seen this everywhere. So it's funny that it wasn't just us.
The face she made.
Yeah, it wasn't just us that's picked up on this thing with the Rana thing with Siri. And, she finally became the bear, like you said. So I love it. It was a fun moment.
It was. And this was a fun match. Ended
Rana.
when Tomoka Inaba of Just Tap Out used the Michinoku driver to end the match of her own accord.
Yes.
So good for her. It's so nice seeing the Inaba sisters
Oh my God.
in Stardom more.
Love it.
I hope that is a trend that continues past the 5-star.
Yeah, me too.
And it likely will, because in our next match, we contested the New Blood tag team titles. Wingori, the champions, Hanan and Saida, took on Rina and Azusa Inaba.
Yes.
A brand new tag team that we've seen around the past couple months.
Right.
Azusa's kind of entrenched herself there with, not really with Oedo Tai as much as with Rina. They get along really well. They're similar age. They've got the same attitude. And they just make sense as a tag team.
Yeah, they kind of fought their way into liking each other.
They did. They had a match and then they were like, okay, we're cool.
Yeah, it's a matter of respect.
Azusa coming out with the black lipstick on.
Yeah.
And I think it's so funny that they're like the rebellious sisters, and then you've got Tomoka and then Hina, both God's Eye adjacent. Yeah. Well, Tomoka's in God's Eye, but Hina's in there now too. And then Hanan, of course, being the guiding light.
Well, Hina is officially in there now.
Yes, Hina is God's Eye.
Yeah, her and
100%.
Her and Lady C have...
Which they should. They've been, amazing.
Well, it was because of what we were going to talk about.
Teaming up with them. They've made me believe that they're God's Eye in the matches that they've had.
Yeah,
so I'm glad that that's official now.
Well, yeah. This is right after what we talk about. What's coming up.
What's coming up. So Rina and Azusa Inaba are the new blood tag team champions. Hanan was aghast at this. She was so upset.
Oh my God.
That her little sister beat
It was kind of shocking, honestly, because of some of the things that's a great tag team.
It is. They've, especially in new blood tag team title matches, they have outperformed this
I
year.
think they might have taken them lightly.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a 16 and 17-year-old.
You're going to take your little sister lightly.
You are, and that was probably Hanan's first mistake.
Yeah, because we've seen her growth, but maybe Hanan hasn't.
Yeah, and Rina made it a point of rubbing it in after the match.
Yeah.
In the semi-main event, the team of Fukigen Death, Natsuka Tora, Mei Seira, and Natsupoi.
What a weird team. Say that again slower.
Fukigen Death, Natsuka Tora, Mei Seira, and Natsupoi took on the very champion heavy team of Tam Nakano, Maika, Saya Kamatani, and Saori Ano. So this was a great big prelude 8-man match before the pay-per-views.
That lived up.
Showing off all of the championship combinations.
Yes.
Natsuka Tora and Maika, Mei Seira, Saya Kamatani, and Natsupoi and Saori Ano.
It was like a gift fest.
And I loved how all of these matches were set up, because you have the intensity between Saori Ano and Natsupoi, always. Then there's the instant high speed with Mei Seira and Saya Kamatani as soon as they hit the ring. And then just the ultimate power struggle between Maika and Natsuka Tora. And this match did the perfect job of showing off little flashes of each one of these matches and what we're going to get on the pay-per-views, while also throwing in some other fun moments, like a little meld tier back and forth and all that.
Yeah, and I mean, I loved it too. I mean, you look at the fact that during moments of it, you talk about the very much intensity between Natsupoi and Saori Ano. And one of the things I love about this is Saori Ano and a lot of the crowd didn't get to see it, but we got to see it because of the wonderful camera work with Stardom that they've been doing, recently, especially. But Natsupoi's face and the little smile.
After the match ended, when they're tangled up with each other and then they let go.
Yeah, and Saori Ano, they've had such viciousness, and there's that little smile, like, there's my friend.
Yeah.
And Natsupoi's really, and I think you said it perfectly while we were watching, Natsupoi is the most ready to fight her own faction of anyone you've ever seen.
She wants to fight her friends.
And not in a bad way. It's almost in a healthy, these guys are never going to break up kind of way.
Yeah, it's in a let's see how we go. And I really want to do this thing that I love with you.
Right.
Kind of thing with her. Instead of I'm angry at you, so let's fight. It's like, I love you, so let's fight.
Yeah, exactly. And
I love that.
And me too.
That's how pro wrestling should be.
It's awesome. And you're just really trying to, let's test myself against my best friend.
Yes.
So,
but quite shockingly, Natsuko Tora was able to get the pin on Micah to win this match. Tora actually got a little bit silly in this match, which she said afterwards, maybe I got carried away. Like, I got a little... It's hard when you're teaming with these people, talking about Mei Seira and Natsupoi, to not get a little carried away. But she made it a point to say that she's coming away with the red belt this weekend.
Well, Mei Seira and Saki Kashima, they were freaking on it.
Yeah.
Like...
The high speed...
Yeah, the high-speed element to that, though, I think, I had questions.
Yeah.
If she could keep up. And there's still times when May's waiting.
Yeah, Saya has kind of like, she's gotten there more than she has been, like before at the start, but...
unless it's Natsupoi, Mei Seira is waiting on most people.
Yeah, either Natsupoi or Zumi, and Mei Seira, they're all in that sort of same speed level.
Right.
So that match is going to be interesting. Saya Kamatani was fast to comfort Micah after this match, tell her it was all right, that she was going to be her second, like Micah requested, in Sapporo. And Micah said that they should both do their best to defend their belts this weekend and then meet in the 5-star finals, because that's the only way they would face in the 5 stars if they both made it to the finals. And then she just randomly threw in there, and we should win the Goddess of Stardom tag team titles. Like, just out of nowhere.
Which we know that she's sort of a Mystic Mac.
She is. Like, last year, Suzu and Micah promised to meet in the final, the 5-star, and a lot of things had to go wrong for that to happen, and it did.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm afraid that...
Oh, man. It could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where the 5-star
If she does it again, and we have a lot of injuries and crap to cause it, then she's not allowed to talk anymore.
Like, you're not allowed to promise anything.
Yeah, no.
Mei Seira then broke up this very nice moment and was like, Saya, just over here, I'm going to take my high-speed title back in Sapporo. She's so funny because she never wants to, like, confront people.
Yeah.
She's just, like, very nice about it.
Just one moment, please.
And Saya was holding the belt up where she couldn't reach it. And then the one match that everyone wants to hear from the people on, like, the main event, essentially, of this whole title thing, Sariano Natsupoi don't even say anything at all. They just stare at each other the whole time.
But it was perfect.
It said enough, didn't it?
It's what it needed. They needed to walk off. That's sort of what this whole story's been.
It has. Like, this is it. This is the time. It's happening. So there's nothing more to say.
Yeah.
But that was only the semi-main event. It did an excellent job of leading into the pay-per-view this weekend. But the main event was for the Goddess of Stardom tag team titles, where the newly crowned champions, Shiri and Konami, were taking on Momo Watanabe and Tekla. And if you heard our episode covering the match where God's Eye won the Goddess of Stardom championships, you will know that we made some pretty bold booking decisions about that.
Absolutely.
Because we were upset that FWC lost the titles.
Yes.
And it's still upsetting that they don't have the titles, that the titles had to be wound up in this storyline for this to happen.
But you said this was the Redeemer.
Yes, this was the Redeemer. This would have made it okay, in my opinion. And exactly as we predicted, after a brutal match of Shiri just getting constantly beat on, essentially, by Oedo Tai, Konami turned on Shiri to help Oedo Tai win the match and the Goddess of Stardom championships.
Yep.
And they were brutal about it afterward.
Oh, yeah, it was nasty.
Konami essentially said what we expected. She said, whoever said that I left Oedo Tai, because she never did.
Yeah.
And then...
It's exactly what we said.
Went on to say that she was sick of God's Eye's BS.
Yeah.
She didn't want to put up with Shiri anymore. She's been putting on this sham Konami, and now she's going to be the real Konami, and she wants to face Shiri 101.
So it's really
Sapporo.
funny because it's... You and I both sit there together. You were like, when it originally happened...
I was quiet for a while, just staring
You were
at the
like,
TV.
how did she know where that Oedo Tai chair was? I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, how did she know where that damn Oedo Tai chair was?
She went under the ring and got it.
And
exactly.
And she used the Oedo Tai chair and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, and start coming up with the fact of, did she ever leave Oedo Tai?
Was there ever an official?
Yeah, was there ever an official leaving of that? And we start looking things up just to refresh ourselves. It's like, wait a second. She never left Oedo Tai.
No.
And I was like, you know what? Do you remember when she first came back and we had just taken Saki Kashima into God's Eye? And she was pissed. She was pissed.
She was so mad about it.
That was real Konami there for a moment. Like, what the hell's this?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And almost like she ran Sherry, and Sherry's always trying to accommodate her.
Right.
And then Sherry's, who's, a veteran, and she's had a lot of wars, so she takes people in. And
she understands.
We joke about her taking strays, right?
Yeah.
And taking people who are very much not maybe made for in a traditional God's Eye faction, right?
Right.
The MMA type character. And we theorized Konami's pissed about this.
She's not happy.
Yeah, she's not happy, and especially when that happened with taking those strays.
Yeah, I think the last straw was her offering a spot to 4 former Queen's Quest members all at once, and she was probably like, okay, this has gone too far.
Yeah.
Sherry's gotten soft. I don't want to be around that. I'm going to go call up my old friends.
Yeah, and your other thing was, boy, howdy, look at that. Oedo Tai's right there for the challenge.
Oh, yeah, they just came right out for that, didn't they?
So it all happened.
Geez. So it pretty much went down the way we expected. Konami's still in Oedo Tai. She doesn't like Sherry. She thinks Sherry's weak, that she isn't running God's Eye the right way, and now she's going to fight her and show that Konami is superior to Sherry.
Oh boy, she's gonna be surprised.
Ooh, I'm excited to see the flip switch and the switch flip, and Sherry become like she's gonna be out for vengeance.
I'm hoping
this.
she comes out in that traditional Sherry. I'm here to whip your ass.
The red and gold.
Yeah,
something really bold and like scary.
Yeah, I mean, God knows she'll have new gear.
Oh, absolutely.
She always has new gear.
So that brings us to the doubleheader pay-per-view in Sapporo, starting with the Wonder Rendezvous.
Yes.
On July 27th.
Right.
The opening match being Lady C and Hina teaming up to take on Xena and Rion.
Which we should say, once again, after what happened to Sherry, Lady C and Hina put out a very impassioned backstage promo.
Right.
And they were pissed off, and they officially said, we're with God's Eye.
What about Saki Kashima being the first person to throw herself on top of Sherry?
Well, did you see what she said?
No, I hadn't seen
Saki
it.
Kashima, that someone put out the comment of, are we going to see Saki Kashima running from people and like being kind of a prick about it, like she always scared. And Saki's like, I'm going to run from everyone except for Oedo Tai.
It's time for her to beat her demons.
Yeah, so
I think she's going to be more... Because Sherry took her in.
Yeah,
took care of her.
It was a beautiful moment. We noticed it right then. She was the first to run and cover Sherry.
Yes.
So I love the fact that the girls have stood up. They have a reason to be there. They're mad.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a reinvigorated God's Eye coming out of this.
Well, think about this. Lady C and Hina, who has more reason to be pissed at Oedo Tai?
Absolutely. They completely destroyed their life.
So they're coming mad.
Yeah.
They are pissed. And then you have Saki Kashima, again, who has more of a reason to be pissed.
Yeah, God's Eye is essentially...
So if you look at the layers of the story...
Yeah.
All these people have converged on this one team to be the ultimate team to beat the shit out of Oedo Tai.
It's time for their undoing.
It's wonderful.
At the hands of God's Eye.
Be it happenstance or happy accidents, whatever.
Right.
Or be it very vivid storytelling. it has, put itself out there to be.
Right. Because
amazing.
That goes back over a year to the cage match when they turned on Saki Kashima.
Yes.
And it all comes full circle.
Yeah, it goes all the way back to that.
Oh man. It's a beautiful thing to see people come together to defend their leader and to stand up for each other and show that they're not going to be kicked around.
They deserve credit for it. Here's the root. The reason they deserve credit for it is because so many times in pro wrestling, there's stories just right in your face.
Yeah.
Just Smack you right in the face.
Spelling it out for you.
And you don't pick up on it. You don't care if somebody else did that. Somebody else had that.
Right.
You know, they didn't do that. They've picked up on that and talked about it.
Yeah.
And it's canon now. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. And this could be the undoing of Oedo Tai's recent behavior. Like, this could be the thing that finally topples Natsukatora and her bad attitude.
I'm excited.
So, Hina and Lady C definitely getting the win here over Rion and Xena, probably.
Xena's going to, I mean, if it wasn't...
There will be chops.
If it wasn't Rion.
Yeah, Rion's definitely taking the
Like,
win.
Xena's going to get some shine.
Yeah, Xena will get her moment, but
She's going to get some shine.
ultimately.
Rion's getting killed.
In the second match, Saki Kashima goes one-on-one with Aya Sakura in a potentially hard-hitting match, depending on how Saki's feeling night.
I think it would be cool.
It would be if she pulled out like the more vicious side.
In my head, Saki Kashima's doing the water boy. She's coming in and she's seeing Natsukatori's face on Aya Sakura.
Of course, Aya hasn't done anything wrong to her. She is the karate girl, but...
Yeah, she's dead.
In the third match, a one-on-one between Tam Nakano and Sayaka Kurara.
Yes.
Which is a big deal for Sayaka.
It is.
To get that one-on-one with her faction leader.
And I like getting another tune-up for Tam. Tam's getting ready to do a run. Listen, you want to mark my words on something. Mm-hmm. So Tam is... she's one of my favorites for the whole thing.
Absolutely. And I totally forgot to mention her sizing up Micah after that 8-man, like just right there at the end.
Yeah.
She looked at that red belt and said she never got her rematch for that.
Nothing happens by accident, pal.
Oh, man. There's so much going on.
There's layers.
Following that, there's a 10-man match where our new faction, Starlight Kid, Suzu Suzuki, Mei Seira, Azumi, and Miyu Amasaki will be taking on the Stars team of Hazuki Koguma, Saya Ida, Hanan, and Momo Kogo.
Oh, my God.
This will be a showcase.
Stars versus Go Eternal.
For the 5 new members of this new faction.
Yes.
To show off what they can do as a full-fledged team. And then, presumably, we will get the new name.
Yes.
Following this match. So they're probably definitely going to win this.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If I had to guess.
Probably, definitely.
After that, we have one of Hanako's 2 goodbye matches for her little excursion in America over the month of August. Hanako versus Mayu Iwatani.
And if you're new to Stardom and you haven't got to see Hanako, the path from her with the bad posture and the and not looking at the camera,
feeling so small,
to the fact of her becoming the monster and just a kaiju.
Just amazing.
She's awesome. She's amazing. She is going to do a great excursion, and she's going to come back as a dominating force in Stardom.
Yes, and this singles match with Mayu Iwatani is like huge. It's kind of like a prove all you've learned sort of deal against the Icon.
In a perfect world for me, Mayu Iwatani would come back around and have a wonderful summer, and this would be something that was called back upon at some point.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Yeah.
Next, we have an 8-person tag match where Mina Shirakawa, Shiri, Saya Kamatani, and Maika take on the newly formed Oedo Tai of Konami, Ruaka, Momo Watanabe, and Tekla in a little prelude to the next night type match.
Dude, this is another one that's just a vicious match.
They're all going to be so hard on each other because of recent happenings, because Maika is trying to keep her spot on the top, and Saya's there by her side, and Shiri feels betrayed, and Mina's just there to help.
Yeah.
God love her.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers.
I'm sure Oedo Tai will find a way to win this match, and I'm not going to be happy about it, but maybe Shiri will take one over on Konami.
I think Oedo Tai has to win this because you're establishing a new team.
Yeah, probably. Then we have the Red Stars decision final match between Yuna Mizumori and Waka Tsukiyama.
It's Yuna Mizumori.
It has to be Yuna, right?
I mean, it's Yuna Mizumori. She's come a long way.
She deserves it.
She does.
Following that, we, in the semifinal, a Future of Stardom championship match where Rina, who is going for her 10th defense, takes on Rana Yagami. And as we know, 10 is the number of defenses that Hanan had when she defended the Future of Stardom Championship, and Rina's been trying to go past that. So
let me tell you something. Who did Rina just beat for the New Blood Tag titles?
Hanan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I feel that Rina is going to lose this, but I feel that it's going to be because of some interference.
Oh, you think Hanan's going to be like, you're not taking my tag belts and beating my defense streak?
I do.
Get out of town.
I do. As weird as that is, I feel
that would be wild.
I feel she's either going to corner Rana or she's going to just straight up come out and cause her to lose.
I have been harping for Rana Yagami to win this belt for months.
Yeah.
Because I love her and
but
she deserves it.
You've also been harping for that defense streak.
Yeah, but that was before I knew what I really wanted. But it's hard to pick because Rina's been such a dominant champion.
I think it's Rana's time. Rana went through that wave and
she was undefeated in the wave tournament.
It's her time.
She's going to be in the 5-star. Wouldn't it be cool to carry the Future of Stardom Championship into the 5-star Grand Prix?
I think that we sent her to wave and have showcased those on Stardom World to get the world ready for the fact that she's sort of graduated.
She is the Future of Stardom anyway.
Yeah, she's had an early graduation, really. If you look at how she hasn't been around long at all.
No, she's only been around since the end of last year, just like Sayaka.
But she was natural from the very first match.
Oh yeah, you immediately could feel superstardom off of her.
So she's going to win this.
She makes total sense.
Yeah.
And then in the main event of night 1 for the Wonder of Stardom Championship, Sariano versus Natsupoi.
Just an epic. It's an Astro match. It's like in the stars for me. Like
it is.
It's fall in the stars. Like they're gonna like fly behind planets and it's just they're amazing.
You know it's gonna be hard hitting.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna be emotional, and you know that they're gonna stop at nothing to get one over on each other and get that belt.
Nobody tells stories better than these two.
No, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
She could be called Storiano
when they come together.
and Poi is just ungodly, man.
She is, and it's really, really difficult to call this. Like I would almost feel like it's Natsupoi's time after everything she's done for Sariano recently. I
felt like it's not Natsupoi's time for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm loving the story.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this is forgive me, finish the story yet. I'm not.
You don't know.
I'm not sure if we do it yet, or if we do it with more odds to it because of the fact of Soriano just having that quick drop and regain of the belt.
Yeah, she did.
But
she did that with the power of Natsupoi.
I know. It's very hot potato.
It is. And she also has that Sendai Girls World Championship to worry about.
She does.
It's really a toss-up between these two. Either one of them could win and it would make sense. Yeah. So it's hard to call. I am going to put my bet on Natsupoi.
I'm going to put my bet on time limit draw.
Okay. That's a fair bet to put on a match like this.
I truly feel like it's going to be a time limit draw so we can come back to it, let Sariano develop more of her story.
Yeah.
And Poi do the same.
Poi go through the 5-star, kind of get herself revved up and all that.
It'd be cool for Poi to win the 5-star and ask for the white belt, not the red.
That would be crazy. It's happened before, but not a lot.
It has. But if Sariano and her went to a time limit, and then Poi won the 5-star,
right,
and asked for the white belt,
it would be a beautiful moment.
Yeah,
I mean, their story has just taken over completely. In my eyes,
it's really cool. So, and it's been featured around her. So,
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see.
So, night 2, 7/28, the World Rendezvous. Starting us off, Momo Kogo and Yuna Mizumori versus Ruaka and Rion.
Yes.
A little pre-show match where Yuna and Momo are probably going to get the win.
Why would that be, Raja?
Because Rion is on the other side.
Yep.
Then we have a super fun trio gauntlet match, which consists of Mina Shirakawa, Xena, and Waka Tsukiyama of EXV, Starlight Kid, Azumi, and Suzu Suzuki of the new faction, Hazuki, Koguma, and Saida of Stars, Saki Kashima, Rana Yagami, and Hina of God's Eye, and Momo Watanabe, Tekla, and Rina of Oedo Tai.
Yeah, there's
That's a lot of people.
there's a lot happening here.
It's a gauntlet match, so you don't know who's going to get in first. You don't know what order it's going to go in or how it's going to turn out.
So it's going to 100% be the new faction win.
Yes. Shooting for that artist of Stardom shot.
Yeah. As you said, you have to win it when you're a new faction. Plus, there's centerpiece on the graphic. Not that that matters.
Right, they're right in the middle.
But Konami's not part of Oedo in this. So there's all the factors are there for them to win this.
It is, and I think they'll probably get a win or the final win over Mina and Xena and Waka.
My favorite
for the
team
artists.
in this is Hina and Saki Kashima and Rana.
That's a fun team.
It's a fun team.
That's going to be a killer match. Like, those gauntlet matches are always crazy.
But FWC, man.
Oh, I love FWC in there.
Yeah, that's hard.
Oh, there's so many good people in this match. It's hard to, zone in on one, but I definitely think the new faction has got it won.
Most of them have weak spots, but really the FWC team does not. And, the Eternal Five do not.
We could see a little... Eternal 5 Stars action there at the end,
and we'll call these people the right thing when we get the name.
yes, we will. It's just better than calling them the new faction all the time.
Yeah.
Following that, we have Hanako's second farewell match against her classmate Aya Sakura, and these two actually debuted at exactly the same time, and then Aya got hurt and she was gone for a while. So this is kind of apropos to have them face off.
Since we screwed Hanako last year. In the Rookie of the Year.
Right.
When she was the obvious Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
Hanako should win this match.
Oh, absolutely. I think she goes out on a high. She wins her last match before going to America, and it's going to be all hunky-dory.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think this is going to be a really fun match to see. It's kind of like how much have we grown since we debuted
Absolutely.
sort of thing.
Absolutely.
After that, we get the singles match between Shiri and Konami.
Oh my God.
Very much a grudge match at this point.
It's funny how this, to be out of nowhere.
Yeah. And it's scary.
this is a hell of a match.
They're going to kill each other.
Both of these girls, ladies, women, are killers.
Yes. 100%.
And to put personal issues in it.
Shiri's going to come out with a fire blazing, I think.
They're absolutely drawing my money.
Oh, man. I can't wait to see what they're wearing, the looks on their faces, and honestly the opening spot. I'm just so excited to see how they go at each other in this match. I don't know if it's too early for Shuri to get a win over Konami a few days after being turned on.
I think it could end with a
Oedo tie interference.
Yeah, I think this one could be some kind of scrum there at the end.
Probably. It's probably going to end up being thrown out or go to a time limit or DQ or something
They
like
need
that.
to do a smallish finish on this.
Yeah, there can't be a winner yet. Chicken dinner.
No, I knew it.
After that, we get a fun tag team match where Meltier, Tam Nakano, and Natsupoi take on the team of Hanan and Mayu Iwatani, Eye Contact.
Yes, which is a hell of a match.
It's just that's nonstop from bell to bell, no taking any breaths match.
Man, this is like a tag team match of the year kind of thing because you're right. Anytime these four ladies are in a match, the amounts of spots and just timing and
they work so perfectly.
It's the four best timed people I've ever seen in pro wrestling.
Oh, I'm so excited just about this random tag match.
I've never seen these girls, and Hanan's already up to that level.
She really is.
In the wrong position.
No.
They are just...
They're flawless.
Flawless.
Most of the time, yeah. And this is kind of a preview of the opening night of the 5-star, which will be Mayu versus Tam one-on-one. So we'll get a little sneak peek of that.
I'm very excited about this match.
In this match. I don't know who's going to win this match.
No, I don't even care.
I'd probably put my bets on Meltier.
It's Meltier.
To take the win. But it's going to be fun.
Only because if it's singles matches, I would almost give it to Hanan and Mayu Iwatani.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's not, no.
As a tag team specialist, Meltier is the best tag team.
Yeah, they definitely have it won.
Yeah.
Then we will see who gets the final spot in the Blue Star side of the 5-star when Lady C takes on her former Queen's Quest mate, Miyu Amasaki, for the final spot.
So I know that we've been working on Miyu, but I'm behind Lady C.
I think Lady C has definitely shown that she is ready for this spot in the 5-star.
Yeah.
And Miyu's got so much to worry about with the new faction and everything.
She does. I won't be upset if she wins.
Me either.
Because she gets a chance to grow through the 5-star.
Yeah.
But man, I really want Lady C to
me too.
To get this.
To get a chance.
She has come through so much, man. It's very much a Hanako type thing.
Yeah.
Because she's went from some awkwardness in the ring in her work.
Yeah.
And I don't see that now.
No, she's definitely stepped it up a level and she's gotten more aggressive and all that. And it's looked amazing. She
went from us realizing every move she has. Okay. And this happens with great workers.
Right.
If it's not such a great worker, you realize every move they have.
Yeah.
And it's almost exhausting sometimes because it's like, oh, here comes the airplane spin or whatever, you know?
Right.
Here comes the giant swing. And it's not really like that with her now. Like, it's more of
started mixing it up.
Well, there's fluidity.
Yeah.
And it's when you start learning transitions, and I don't want to get too deep into this.
Right.
But transitions is what mask a lot of that.
Yeah.
When you have great transitions to go to in your well of knowledge, that's the difference is when you watch somebody very green and it seems they're going from move to move to move and there's no real...
Kind of clunky.
Right. It's very clunky. Very clunky. I can think of examples that I'm not going to say that is super clunky because there's no transitions.
Right.
And she has turned more into a ring general and having...
She's been training in that God's Eye dojo.
Dude, she's really... I'm not saying she's freaking Mayu Itani.
No.
At all, but she's good as hell.
She is. And on the other side of things, from the Eternal 5 faction, we have 4 out of 5 of the people representing in the 5-star already.
Right.
So if you threw Miyu in there, that's like the entire faction.
Yeah, it makes it a bit tough.
It is. I think Lady C deserves and would benefit even more from all those singles matches.
Between these two ladies, she benefits more from it.
Absolutely. In the semi-main event, we have the high-speed championship match between Saya Kamatani and Mei Seira. So, Mei's getting the belt back, right?
You get one. So, you got to pick. You get one. You're going to get this belt change.
Or the other belt change?
Or
I have to choose?
Or Rena.
Oh, or Rena. I only get to pick one belt change.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get more than that. I really don't. I just don't. Now, that's I'm not making you put the world title in there because I feel the world title's changing. But
yeah, I mean, I guess I could see it staying on Saya Kamatani, but Mei Seira just makes so much sense as the high-speed champion.
She does, and
she's so good.
She does, and Saya Kamatani should be going after the red belt, not this.
Her sights should be set much higher.
Yeah,
IWGP, Wonder, or World level.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's why she wins this. And
not to take away from the high-speed title.
so maybe both titles change, man. Maybe.
All the titles change.
Yeah.
Like every single one.
Well, we just had our reset, so...
I would love to see Mei get the belt back because she's the epitome of high speed and it just makes sense. But it may not go that way.
So the Korakuen Hall Express, arguably one of the greatest tag teams of all time, but they are nowhere near as popular when they have the belts.
Fair.
They figured that out over and over. That's why they've been World Tag Champions so many times.
Right. It's more fun to watch them chase the belts.
As soon as those kids would get the belts, you just kind of lost it before them. It didn't matter.
It's like, oh, you're already the champion.
I remember being myself, like being kind of like, oh. And, it's like when the Midnight Express had it, it was like, I don't know, man. The Midnight Express was supposed to have the belts.
Yeah.
And everybody going against them, it was always great. And you wanted the Korakuen Hall Express to win it. You wanted to be there when it happened. And you love the matches where they're trying to get the belts.
Right.
But when they have the belts, it changes the whole dynamic of the match. It's just not the same.
But imagine Mei having this high-speed belt in a faction full of high-speed wrestlers. And remember that match she had with Hazuki? Her title run was amazing.
Yeah.
I want Mei to have the world.
Well,
I'm still picking her.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm picking both title changes.
All right.
I don't care.
Okay.
This is what I feel in my heart.
Okay, Ruaka.
In the main event of the World Rendezvous for the World of Stardom Championship, Maika will put her red belt on the line against Natsuko Tora.
It's Natsuko Tora's time.
You think Natsuko Tora's taking it?
I think that Oedo Tai was in shambles.
It was.
I think that
very recently.
We only have one true heel faction.
Mm-hmm.
And with that heel faction, you've got to have strength. If you don't have a strong heel,
mm-hmm.
A protagonist, you don't have anything.
Right.
If you don't have an antagonist, you don't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to have strength. And the only strength, the best strength, is that world title.
It is.
The red belt.
You're the champion.
So if we have that and we have that struggle and we have Micah back on struggle Micah,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm with it. And the funny thing is, Micah has won me over.
Yeah, she's been fantastic lately.
I didn't hate Micah as a human being or anything.
No.
But her,
her title run's been kind of...
Yeah, it's been kind of droll and with lacking story.
Yeah.
There's been some bangers.
Yeah, she's had a few really great matches.
But she's also had some terrible matches. But
Snorefests.
Not really because of her.
Right.
It's just been the way it had to be for the match or whatever. And I don't know. I would almost like to get that out of my mouth.
Yeah. Just give her something else
Even
to
if
do.
we come back around.
Yeah.
Just let me spit that out.
And it just kind of feels right to have Tora with the belt when Saya Kamitani eventually comes for it to avenge Queen's Quest.
I like it for a lot of reasons. I like it for the fact of her fascination with somebody that left.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And here...
She's still obsessed, I think. She's looking for a new faction to destroy right now. She's like, I need a new leader to obsess over.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it.
She's lost without a certain Red Queen in the mix.
Yeah. But I like it. I like the fact of having it there. Plus, she's got a bunch of hyenas with her that would want the belt. So
that's very fair.
It would be interesting from that.
She'd have a lot of people coming after her.
Yeah.
Saya, Tam, Micah probably.
So think about all those great baby faces.
I know. All chasing the belt.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be so sweet.
Yeah.
Especially whoever's in Tora's block in the 5-star trying to get those wins for that title. That title shot.
I dig it, man.
I do too. I think it would be a great time to do it because Oedo Tai is on such a roll.
Listen, Natsuka Tora is a hell of a worker.
Yeah. She never messes up.
She's a hell of a worker for her size.
Yeah.
To be a monster.
Yeah.
She's great. She's great on the stick.
Yeah. She's amazing.
She's a faction leader. I love her.
Makes sense.
And I think that she'd be a great champion.
Agreed. So that brings us to the end of this doubleheader pay-per-view weekend, which is going to be absolutely insane when you couple it with Death Before Dishonor on Friday night and then these two pay-per-views back-to-back on 2 nights. You can buy the pay-per-view separately or you can get the package deal for a little bit of a discount if you want to watch. And that information is on the Stardom Global Twitter. They have the link up for the overseas pay-per-view buying, so you can get it there if you want to watch along. We're definitely going to be watching live, tweeting about it live for Death Before Dishonor and both of these nights of pay-per-views because there's no way we can miss.
This is what we consider a classic weekend.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so good.
This is the best because this is what we love. This is what brought us to the dance. Like a good Ring of Honor pay-per-view is our wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And then having 2 Stardom, top notch, top of the page, top tier, top chef, top hat,
delicious.
Just great freaking shows.
Yeah.
Is going to guarantee that we'll be back with you.
Oh, at the beginning of next week.
Less than a week.
Yes, we'll be talking about Death Before Dishonor, both of these pay-per-views, Collision, SmackDown, all the things that have happened over the next few days. There's so much going on.
Because we're turning right around after that for, a certain big WWE event. So
yeah, this is SummerSlam's right on the horizon. It's a crazy time.
It is.
It's summer.
Let's
freaking go.
I love it. Let's freaking go.
So make sure you're following us on Twitter, specifically at Wrestling Is Her, because we're going to be live tweeting all weekend long.
Absolutely.
Which we love to do. And we would love to see you and hear your thoughts and have you tweet along with us. But for now, I'm Raja. He's John. And we will see you next time on Wrestling Is Her.
Bye.